Jolie Gabrielle here. Thank you so much for joining me again on day 10 of my consistency challenge with myself. I'm really excited to be here at day 10 and some of the updates that I've had since beginning this process and what is it to really sit in my purpose and teach myself as well as other people in real time how to move out of darkness into light, deal with your own strong emotions, learn about your soul architecture, creatively visualize, and put some of these concepts, platitudes, and cliches to the test, right? Some of these quantum rules, regulations, all of the things we've learned, about our mind and our body and being able to be great, let's put them into action. And I'm kind of wanting to go over this myself. So today I want to talk about how I got into this. I got into this through me just being very empathic and taking on a lot of energy, really sponging up my environments, which when you're a person that do that, you want to be alone a lot. You don't want to be around a lot of people because you wind up taking on their energy. But that's not feasible. You know, people bring you your good experiences, your joy, your laughter. It's really, it involves other people and sometimes some things outside of us. So we want to cultivate what's going on in here so that we can have a good experience out there. I kind of knew that on a subconscious level. Nevertheless, I was pushed into the well-worn path, which is just, it's the right thing to do in this society because mass consciousness has said, this is what we do. We go to school, we educate ourselves, and we work and we give back. Perfect. That's the right way to go about things. But for some of us, that can kind of muck up the system. We have to figure out our own way of doing that, and it might not look like what most average person thinks or believes in. So I was completely out of integrity and out of alignment with who I was and my purpose. And everywhere I went, I was reminded of that. I would go into these situations as a high functioning individual, and I just would turn into a pariah. Everywhere I went, like I couldn't figure out what was going on with me, and it was torturous to not belong and not be accepted. Hence the manifestation of the vitiligo. That's how it works. You believe you have these hangups, you have these blocks, you give in to them. You say, oh, self-pity, oh, woe is me. We play the violin. And then all of a sudden, now here you go. The creator says, here, I'm going to put that on your plate for you. So how do we manage to start to influence and control that? How I began was I started to research conspiracy theories. I was in the midst of working for a brokerage firm, and I absolutely hated myself, and I was definitely becoming a pariah in this environment because I didn't have the training and I didn't know how to behave. But what I did know that there was something wrong on a fundamental level, and it couldn't all be me. So I got a hold of a book by David Icke at the time. It was like before 9/11, but 9/11 really sped it up for me because I was watching that. My father had just passed that February, which was out of the blue. And I felt like they had taken my dad out the hospital. So I was already pissed because he went in. He had been trying to like months, not years, months, maybe even going on a year, trying to figure out what was going on with him. He was having issues keeping food down and that kind of, oh, you have an ulcer. Oh, here, take this. No one ever took him seriously enough to give him an upper GI and all of the stuff he needed to find that he had colon cancer, like right in a spot where it was very difficult to find. So of course, what do they want to do? They want to open you up and they want to experiment. So they did that. And then my dad went into septic shock and died. So we fast forward to 9/11 after I knew that the hospital, I mean, you should have seen the doctor. He walked in the room and he peeked in and he was like, ooh, and he like stepped back out. And it was just a whole nasty situation. And being as traumatized as we were, and being that we had learned, you know, when it's your time to go. You don't need to sue anybody. You don't get life insurance. these are all the things that the religious community I was in was saying at the time. So fast forward to 9/11, and at that point I was like, you know what? I'm done. And so I really began to dig deep into conspiracy theories and what was going on, and the 13 Illuminati families. And I just really dug into that rabbit hole. But then I saw the movie The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. And that was about him being a rare book collector who was hired by these elites to find this book, apparently written by the devil. So he goes down this path to find this book, and it leads him straight to hell. So I took that as a warning, and I said, okay, time to pivot. You know that there's darkness here. You know that you've been fed a bunch of lies. You know that you've been socially engineered, mind controlled, and you're a weirdo. So now you want to pivot over here, and you want to start to heal that. So that led me on my journey of learning about the chakras, because I was so miserable. I didn't have any idea as to what was going on in my body, outside of me. I was out of control. I had no common sense. I didn't have horse sense. I didn't have any sense. I didn't have any direction. All I knew was get up, go to work. And all I had to offer corporate America was a bad attitude, hot air, and tears. I just knew that was not the right place to go. But yet and still the pressure of bill paying and this and that. Wow. And so after I went through that whole thing and began to pivot, I was led into theta healing. And once I began to realize my brain was a powerful machine that I could work with, and then that led me to Lori Lamson, who is an amazing mentor to me. And she said, look, you need to go and learn about yourself. That led me to Clear Sight, which was in Santa Monica, taught by the Reverend Judy Nelson. And I learned about my chakras. And then from there, I was able to work on my energy internally, knowing how I operated so that I could move into a state of joy and accept the fact that it's okay to not do that. Do something different. You know, dig into who you are and have a purpose that is more than just to pay bills, you know, or to exist. My desire is to thrive and to give back and to align with the purpose of being a channel of light and blessings. That's why I'm here. It's so awesome. So let's pivot now to the physical aspect of my journey. So I've been doing for 3 days now. I was 7 days in before I caught the discipline bug around my diet. So I did bulletproof coffee, which is 16 ounces of hot black coffee with cinnamon, a spoonful of a scoop of collagen, and I do the grass-fed collagen, and then also MCT oil, a tablespoon, and ghee. You pour it in the blender and you drink that from the time you wake up. Of course, you get your 2 bottles of water in. You drink that from the time I drink that from the time I wake up until noon. So already after 3 days, I've seen results. And some of my results have been my sugar cravings have decreased. My hunger's down. I have a clearer head. I'm more productive. And my waist is starting to snap back. My inflammation has come back a little bit. It's like dialed itself back. So my waistline has kind of, instead of that whole thing that was going on last week, we kind of got a little bit of traction around the waistline. So I'm really happy about that. So that's what I have seen within the last 48 to 72 hours of just doing my intermittent fasting with bulletproof coffee, and then my 2 meals, which will be and usually are something like protein and vegetables. Low carb, really low carb, and I'm staying away from the sugar as much as possible. So today, what's this about? Really coming into integrity. I really want to, yesterday, my meditation about telomeres was just the beginning. That's not my wheelhouse. For those of you that know all about this, when you go through the meditation, take yourself into the details. But as far as me, I need to do a little bit more digging. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean we can't creatively visualize our good inside of ourselves. Always remember that. So today I would just like to take us through a quick myself. And if you want to join me, thank you, through a meditation on really bringing in more integrity and bringing in more courage and sitting in that heart chakra, really keeping it real, because habits, hobbies, we want to turn habits into hobbies, because the word habit kind of triggers me. It makes me angry because we always want a good and bad everything, when in all actuality, sometimes they're hobbies. They can become hobbies. All right. So we want to take the time to turn our positive habits into hobbies, things that support ourselves, really filling up with that self-love. So as always, you put your feet flat on the floor, your palms face up on your thighs, and I'm going to begin to breathe with the rhythm of my body. The first thing I want to do, just like I would anything else, like you get up and you put your clothes on in the morning, there are also spiritual items that's called your soul architecture that make you up. I don't want to call them clothes. They're more like your arms and your legs. So you want to pull your aura in, which is your personal space, to be 1.5 feet around you. You call your higher self back above you, a comfortable distance above your crown. You root and ground yourself into Mother Earth, and you snap your astral body back into your physical body. This is your soul architecture. Before you make a move each day, you want to make sure you put yourself together, and that blueprint and that, that house, that temple is in order. You want to bring your awareness. I bring my awareness to the center of my chest, and then I just kind of breathe with the rhythm of my body. But today, I'm going to take a deep breath in, hold it for a count of 4, and then exhale for 4. Inhale for 4, hold it for 4, and exhale for 4. 2 more times. All right. Bring your awareness to the center of your chest. Command your heartbeat to sync up with your breath. And command that all the cells in your body turn heart-shaped, representing unconditional loving vibrations, compassion, and forgiveness for self. And as this energy moves throughout your body, call in your golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles to clean off anybody else's energy on your grounding cord. Whatever your grounding cord is, remember to make it of a natural earth element. Mine is a tunnel of fire. I need to get moving. So those golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles come in and organize the fire. Keep it subdued to where it is just the right temperature to keep me joyful while moving forward in productivity. As a channel of light and blessings, a bad attitude is like kryptonite. Let's get rid of that. So let's take out all that resentment. Put those roses outside your aura, 5 feet away from you. If your aura is 1.5 feet, put the roses 5 feet away from you. Open your hand chakras and pull out all of that resentment that you feel towards yourself, that I feel towards me for not keeping my word, for saying things, especially to my business partner, Lori Lamson. I love you so much. And I didn't show up to your acting class on Friday. I'm so sorry. And I had the audacity to not even, it's been days. I didn't even reach out to you. That's unfair. That's a lack of integrity. That's the kind of crap that gets in the way of my consistency, gets in the way of my good, gets in the way of my wealth, gets in the way of me, of my abdominals. That type of energy moves throughout my environment when I don't nip it in the bud. So here we are, admitting it. Lori, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. All big dog, whatever your name was, acting class teacher, I'm so sorry I didn't show up to your class. I apologize. And I remove and resolve this disgusting, cowardly energy that sits in my heart that has me resenting myself. Okay, the pattern is here. The lack of self-love, what does it do? It causes us to not show up. What was my job? My job was to stop, open up my calendar, put that in there, and care and have enough respect, integrity, and concern for my friend to show up. I didn't do that. So we're going to remove the guilt out of 3, because when we have a lack of consistency, our personal power is lacking. So let's get that. We got the resentment out of the heart, resentment, rejection, regret. Let's get into 3. Let's move out all the guilt from that experience and the pattern. What's the pattern there? The pattern is one of self-hatred. So we're going to move that pattern out. And the one in the heart was resentment. So let's get that out of there. Get that pattern out. The pictures pop out of the aura layer. We're going to drain them. We're going to fill them with gold light. We're going to store them in our memory bank. Golden sun above our head, and we're going to fill up with that gold sun in the spaces and the places within our body. An aura layer where that cowardly resentment and guilt was at, the pattern, the program. And we do a healing, a teaching healing, positive teaching healing, negative teaching healing, trauma teaching healing, bringing in divine integrity and any trauma from experiences where I failed to have integrity, this lifetime, past lifetime, all parallel lives, all levels, resolving and dissolving on a history level, cancel, pull, delete, soul, core, and genetics, sent to creator's light, replacing with unconditional love for others and self and unconditional forgiveness. And this is Lori Lampson's soul medicine. This is what she taught me. This is my mentor. This is a person that literally changed my life. I'm going to give her energy back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all that you do for me and you have done for me. I'm going to put a golden sun above my head. I'm going to call all my energy back from her. And I'm going to allow for the creator. I'm going to send her so much unconditional love, wealth, joy. I'm just going to see that. I'm just going to ho'oponopono, gold light her. And in this real physical world, we're going to send an email and we're going to apologize. And this time we're going to make it stick. So let's get into 2 and let's move out the guilt. Actually, shame is in 3, but we're going to go ahead and move out the guilt, move out the shame. It's all connected. I'm going to move that out. Where's the shame come from? The shame comes from what? Not showing up, but what? How do we dig? Let's dig deep into why don't we want to show up? I can remember being a dance student at Miss Bobby's School of Dance. And every once in a while, we had to do our own dance. And I could really never remember the steps. And she'd call me out and I'd look like a big buffoon. And I'd feel a lot of shame. And that also comes from parental shame. It's okay. Parents did the best that they could, but we need to pull out the pattern of shame here. The shame, especially with the male energy, especially with doing a job or having to perform or work or be productive. There's a lot of shame around that. Let's take that shame out, pop those pictures out, drain them, fill them with gold light, store them in the memory bank. So once again, we put a golden sun above our head, divine integrity, divine 360 degrees, truth, honesty, courage, bravery, every single thing that deals with divine integrity is going to go into that golden sun above my head. I open my crown like I would the lens of a camera. I did that already, and I bring that down. And I let that flow through my lower chakras. And then I move down into 1 and I deal with the fear. That's why the call wasn't made. I was really afraid. This is a pattern. This is a problem. This is a block that gets in the way of my consistency, moving out this darkness, this fear, false evidence appearing real. You know, no, get out of there. Okay, so where's this fear, guilt, and shame in my body and my aura layer? We're going to turn that bright yellow and we're going to flush that out and down. Now I'm running energy. I just automatically do that. I should have told you, but you open your feeds, 15% earth energy, 85% cosmic gold. You let them clean out the chakras. You open your feet, hands, and crown chakras. You let that sprout out and into your aura layer. And you see that gold light come in. And then that essence of the two together, the 15 and 85, sprout out the side. Your higher self is sitting right above it, like on top of the fountain. It's just gorgeous as it comes through, and just, it's this beautiful symphony of spiritual energy and your chakras all working together to fill up your aura layer with joy and amusement and love, moving out any of that nastiness, that spiritual detritus, that negativity, that cowardly resentment, fear, shame, guilt, worry. Move it out. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. All right, so cleaning out that heart, that throat. Let's speak some truth, divine integrity in that golden sun, man. I need like 15 of them. Come on, bring it down, bring it down. Into the heart, into the throat, speaking the truth, really speaking with love, speaking with forgiveness and compassion, being brave, sitting in that personal power and confidence, knowing that I am a channel of light and blessings, moving into a creative space of creating and giving back to Mother Earth, and standing, knowing that I am safe and divinely protected in the highest and best way with grace and ease, and bringing in common sense, sanity, strategy. Make the right moves. What is this self-pity? What is all of this nonsense? Excuses. Pull it out, pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. Roses outside the aura. Let's connect to God just even more, open me up, talk to my higher self, the divine energy coming into me, moving through me, down and out and through Mother Earth, receiving her messages, all the vitamins, all the minerals, all of the things that I need to get through this day and be consistent, and to be a channel of light and blessings, to move people out of darkness and into light, and to help them build a skill set to deal with their strong emotions in real time through breathing and through working with their chakras, through meditation. Take yourself out and away from situations that trigger you and go deal with that. It sits in our bodies. Close your eyes, dig deep, stop doubting and thinking you don't know what you're doing. Man, Christ walked on water, Yahshua the Messiah, whatever you want to call him, walked on water. That's a human being. Walked on water. And then in the book, it says, greater works you shall do. Work with your chakras. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. So now I'm going to close my feet, my hands. I keep my crown open 20% because so that I can really stay connected to my higher self. So the last thing I'm going to do is my aura layer. I got all those pictures out. I drain them in my memory bank. Sometimes I like to dump out my memory bank into a rose and blow it up, the things I don't need. And then I connect to my toroidal field. So I really send out a lot of love out of my chest. And then my aura layer, my toroidal field, goes out beyond that. And then there's a pyramid with a capstone on top of that. And then I connect to the ley lines of Mother Earth. And then that opens up the white light to come down from the heavens through Mother Earth, through the capstone, through my toroidal field, my higher self, and down through me and down into Mother Earth. And this is how I stay connected and aware and spiritually just, I don't know how to say it, but joy runs through me now. It took me a little ways to get here, but take a deep breath in. It's a practice. It's a practice. Talk to yourself. Go into your body and look. See what's in there. Be your own MRI in the highest and best way with grace and ease. I let the energy settle around me. My golden rose-shaped scrubbing bubbles already just went into Mother Earth, and I was filled up with gold light. And now I open my eyes. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.